Alright, Honkai Star Rail Beta 4 is here, and we've got some buffs for both Castorice and Anaxa, but don't get too excited, it's not exactly game-breaking. For Castorice, the global passive remains untouched, so no need to panic about a complete kit overhaul. But what did change? Well, mostly the names, and honestly, I liked the old ones better. For example, Stamen Nova, which sounded cool and mysterious, has been renamed to Newbud. Really, Newbud. Sounds like a plant about to sprout, not a dragon's breath attack. Oh, and the Memasprite Dragon Pollux. It was originally called Dead Dragon, but now it's Netherwing. Look, I get the whole rebranding thing, but after playing the beta for so long, these name changes just don't sit right with me. But before we dive into the actual buffs, hit that like button if you enjoy these beta breakdowns, and if you're new here, subscribe for all the latest HSR updates. Also, check out my previous videos. Links are in the description. Alright, let's get into the actual changes and how they feel in-game based on my initial testing. Oh, and if you have any team suggestions, combos you want me to test, or specific interactions you're curious about, drop a comment. I'll test it out and give you a breakdown. Castorice changes. What's new? Memasprite skill Claw splits the veil. The Claw Swipe attack now increases damage from 24% to 40%. Breath skill unchanged, just some typo fixes. Technique, Death Addle is now called Netherveil. E6 wording changes but still the same effect. Biggest change, T3 and E1 got swapped. New T3, each time the Nethering Dragon casts Breath of Scorching Darkness, its damage increases by 30% per stack up to 6 times until the end of the round. New E1, if an enemy's health is less or equal to 80%/50%, damage from her cost skills increases by 120%/140%. Oh, one more thing. If you're referencing this sauce for the T3 and E1 changes and pointing out that the information provided is incorrect, I hate to break it to you, but the details they've shared are poorly translated from Chinese. This means the information is likely not entirely accurate. The translations for T3 and E1 are flawed, so here are their actual effects. What does this mean? Essentially, T3 now stacks a damage buff every time the dragon breathes fire, but there's a catch. That breath attack consumes the dragon's HP. If its health reaches 0, it dies, so you need a strong healer. Every breath attack eats HP, but if you heal quickly, you can use the breath skill again. Stack that buff up to 6 times, and suddenly your dragon is breathing absolute hellfire by the final turn. Pro tip, use a fast character like Sunday to push Castorice's turns forward, keeping the dragon's HP stable. Lotcha is an insane healer here. Every time I used him, my dragon was practically immortal. Previously, you'd do one breath attack, cancel with a claw swipe, then repeat. But now, spam that breath attack, stack the damage bonus, and let the dragon unleash devastation on the final turn. Oh, and Castorice's signature light cone, defense ignore buff to 30% at superimposition 1, everything else remains the same. Anaxa changes. Is he finally worth it? Skill buffs. Skill multiplier increased from 60% to 80%. Ultimate multiplier buffed from 150% to 200%. Ability name changes. Exposed nature to qualitative disclosure. Fancy way of saying I tell the truth. Stats adjustments. Minor traces now grant damage boost, critical rate, and 10% health. Critical rate buffed from 6.7% to 12%. Talent and Eidolon tweaks. T2 erudition damage boost increased from 30% to 40%. T3 defense ignore increased from 3% to 4%. E6 wording changed but no effect change. Final thoughts, Anaxa's buffs are solid but not meta shifting. The higher multipliers mean better burst potential, but if you weren't already interested in him, these tweaks probably won't change your mind. That said, if you run him with the right team, he can dish out some serious damage. So is he worth pulling in 3.2? I'll cover that in an upcoming video, so make sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss it. Alright, that's the full breakdown for Castorice and Anaxa in Beta V4. Let me know in the comments what you think. Are these buffs enough, or do they need even more tweaks before release? Also, tell me what team comps you want tested. I'll try them out and report back. And hey, if you enjoyed this, make sure to drop a like, share with your fellow trailblazers, and subscribe so you never miss an update. Alright, I'm off to grind some Stella Jade. Until next time, thanks for watching, peace out.
5球球莫名4到6球球台，7球球闷着头